ask you to do it really very soon, because the competition closes in just half an hour. We'll be making the draw just before 4 o'clock. So if you haven't filled that form in, then please don't miss the opportunity to win that amazing prize, your dream wedding, courtesy of Overgate and Hilton Dundee. It could be yours this afternoon, but only if you fill out the form and hand it back to the customer information desk ahead of, well, within the next half hour. The events continue this afternoon with a really fabulous hair demonstration by Freedom Hair. Now this is bridal hair, but it really applies to any sort of hairstyle that you're interested in. If you have any questions to ask the team from Freedom Hair, then please feel free to do so. I'll be sitting in the audience asking questions myself, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put your hand up, get the mic, whatever, or just shout it out, because they'll be more than happy to help. So please put your hands together, and can we welcome on stage Erwin, Mary and the team from Freedom Hair.
Okay. Hi, I'm Erwin from Freedom Hairdressing. We're going to do the hair part of it just now. We'll talk a little bit about hair, we're going to do a little bit of hair on stage, and then there's a fashion part afterwards. These are the girls from Freedom. I won't go through all the names, but if you bear with us, we'll get set up. It's a bridal show. We are having, I think we've got the family here. Do we have Suzanne here today? Yes, we do. We have a bridal family that won a competition that was run by the Overgate and the Hiltons and ourselves to actually give them a bridal makeover. So we're going to do the whole family. And we'll introduce to them later, and we'll have a chat with them. But our approach to that is the way that I feel that most people visit the salon should actually approach the hairdresser. So I'm going to go through a couple of things about how to get the best out of a visit to your hairdresser. Now, whether it's bridal or whether it's your own hair, or your daughter's hair or whoever, the theory is really much the same. We're not really interested in your age. It's really the lifestyle, the type of life that you lead. Obviously, it starts with consultation. Now, we need to find out, first of all, what your brand and what your lifestyle is. That's fairly straightforward. We can tell a lot, or we try and find out a lot, just by the way you're dressed. That doesn't mean to say you should come dressed to the salon. We could usually tell, because a lot of people come dressed to the salon with their hair done, which is quite strange. Some people leave us to do all that part, which is obviously the more sensible way of doing it. But we can detect things, and then even with a few questions, we could find out things fairly quickly. As we get to know you through time, then obviously that becomes much easier on return visits, we hope. Well, listen, but we need direction. We need some direction from you, i.e. photographs or your opinion. But we do listen and we take it from there. But we need guidance as well from you. Now that's true whether you're a bride or whether you're having a haircut or colour. We are aware of what current and what is right for you. We're very aware of current trends, but we're classically trained hairdressers. Mary and I have been hairdressing for 80 years in total, just over that. And we pass on our classic training onto the girls, and we couple that with current trends. So we're aware of anything that's happening in fashion, but the trends in the fashion may not always be suitable for you. The visualization, changing your image. We have to share each other's vision, so we need to use visual aids to do that, i.e. pictures. It's very straightforward. Hairstyles is usually about you. We need to find out your lifestyle, like we said earlier, and just what you do and how much time you want to spend. Our aim is, our basic aim, our philosophy, is really to give you an easily maintained, modern, versatile hairstyle. Now, easily maintained means that you don't have to spend as much time as we do in the salon. We also want to be versatile. You should be able to get one or two different looks out of your hair. And modern, obviously, it has to be quite modern. No matter what your age is, there's a modern haircut and hairstyle for any age group. It doesn't matter whether you're 12 or 82. You can still have a modern look. It doesn't have to be an 18-year-old style. on you. It doesn't have to be a 50-year-old style on you if you're an 18-year-old. But there is one for you. We just have to find it. Past memories and perception, and fixed ideas, no room for manoeuvre. When you come in sometimes, you find that you've got very fixed ideas about how you want. And we as hairdressers have got a large bank of experience in what's current, what we've done in the past, what we know works with certain types of hair, with certain types of colours of hair, and we could share that with you and try and get the best out of your visit. So the past memories that you've had about a particular style, and there's one of the things that I remember, and I can't remember who said it, was that if you remember any fashion the first time round, don't wear it again. You know, so I maybe shouldn't be wearing a denim jacket, but the perception, and the other thing is important, is when you go out, and many clients go, look at the style that we've agreed on, and when they go home they get a reaction that perhaps is not very favourable, or it's very favourable. The big difference between, what have you done with your hair? And, well, look at you. There's a big difference between the two. Which one have you received? I'm pretty sure that you've received both. And that's obviously going to change and taint your view on it, because you obviously value your friends' and family's opinions. New things take time to adjust. Your eye has to to adjust to something new. Whether it's a new silhouette in clothes, whether it's a new shape of a car, or a new shape of a telephone, you know, or a new shape of a TV. Your eye needs to become accustomed. New buildings are the same. And then we become used to them. The V&A is a prime example. If any of you have seen them, I hope you have all seen the new building that's going to happen. We may look at it and think, well, what on earth is that meant to be? But as that starts to build, it starts to grow on us, we'll actually see that the planners, I believe, have made a very good choice. And it wasn't just through how it looked. There's a lot of other things went into it. Won't go on about the V&A. The realisation is the crunch. It's a very important part of your total look, which it's got a lot to do with what Louise, the photographer just now, could talk about. She has got a place, she's got a stand in the centre, and she's going to talk to you about the image as far as photography goes. Now, I'm not a photographer, but I know what balances out, and I've seen enough in bridal photographs to realise that hair disappears. A couple of things happen. Hair always looks darker, and hair size-wise disappears. When you come in and you look in the mirror, you're sitting with a gown on, no makeup, and you see this creation happen, which is a lot bigger than you're used to wearing it. But when you stand up and you have your dress on, your shoes on, your makeup on, and you're presenting yourself as you will at your wedding, the hair goes in proportion with all the rest. It's not just isolated. So what you saw in a magazine that looks that size needs to be that size before it actually looks good. And the photographs are obviously going to be there for a long time. This is Louise Beattie, one of the photographers we work with. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the brides in the room. I was married just over a couple of years ago, so I really do know how you feel, what an exciting time it is, but I also understand how daunting it can be. And I think from my own experience of my wedding, I feel that I really want to take care of my clients, help them and look after them. You spend a lot of time and effort preparing for your wedding, buying a gorgeous dress, talking and spending time with professional makeup artists and hairstylists who are going to make you look absolutely gorgeous on the day. And therefore I really believe that you then want to be able to capture that and remember that for many years to come, and that's why I feel it's very important to think very carefully about your photography. Your cake will be eaten, the flowers unfortunately won't last, and if you're anything like me, your wedding dress will be in a box in your wardrobe. I doubt very much that I can get into mine anymore. But I still have my photographs, my album to turn back to, so I would encourage you all to think very carefully about your wedding photography and how important it is to you. Well, when choosing your wedding photographer, there's several things you need to think about. You want someone that you feel comfortable with. They're going to be around a lot on the day, and if you don't feel comfortable with them, then you're not going to be as relaxed and look as natural in your photographs. You do want someone who knows how to help you look your best after you've put all that time and effort into looking gorgeous. Maybe with gentle direction help you stand in a flattering way. Who knows how to use light and the light that's there.
using light and shadow, you can make someone look very slim, or you can be very unkind to someone. So you want someone who knows how to do that. But you also want a photographer who will make you feel relaxed and help you show the natural emotions of the day.
Louise, sorry,
Yes.
can I just ask, if anybody has any questions for Louise as well, please just let me know. How do you do that? I mean, presumably, do you have to spend some time with the bride and groom beforehand, you know, to get to know them, so that you find out what they're like, so you can enhance their personalities or reflect their personalities with through the photographs?
Yes, definitely. And yes, please do ask any questions. For me, that's very important. People often comment that they feel like they know the people in my photographs, even though they've never met them. And that's because I do spend time before I actually book a client. I like to meet with them, make sure they feel comfortable with me. I include a pre-wedding photography session with all my wedding bookings. And this is to help people get to know me, so I can get to know them, but also to help them relax with the camera. So come their wedding day, the photography's, you know, not a big deal. It's one less thing for them to worry about. That's very important.
Just looking at the beautiful photographs that are coming up on the screen, I don't know if everyone can see these. Some of the images, and it's the way of a good photographer. You manage to capture something that's very intimate, and yet it almost seems as if you're not there. That must be part of the talent.
Yeah, yes. For me, it's very important that the couple feel relaxed. It's almost like I'm not there, although I'll gently direct them and guide them. Some of the images, I'll have asked them to imagine a scenario. They maybe to walk away from me and share their experiences of their day and chat to each other. And they almost forget I'm there, and that's how I'm able to create those images, yes. So here's Owen again.
Thanks, Louise. Wonderful photographs, and we've worked with, I don't, did you have some of the stuff that we've done on these ones? So just to finalise what we're doing before we actually get the bridal party up, which we could have a chat about as well. You may take time to adjust, so many others. Work in progress. Some of the hairstyles that we could do for you will take a little bit of time to grow. If your hair's is too short, what we will try and do is we'll give you a hairstyle for today, a hairstyle for 6 weeks, 2 months, and a hairstyle for 6 months to a year. And by using the visual aids, photographs, you could get it mapped out. You can have a plan. And rather than going for a lot of people come in with long hair and want to change and feel that because it was current just a couple of months back, a short haircut, that seems a bit of a waste of your hair when you could do that in stages. You could have 3 or 4 different styles before you get to the short hair. Because then the other way around, you have to cut it short. And believe me, after about 2 weeks, a short haircut is really stunning immediately. It doesn't last. It's like bleaching hair white. It's stunning when you see everybody, but you get fed up with that pretty soon. And that's why you get people who go from blonde to black to red to blonde to black to red. So it doesn't last. That initial buzz that you get from having it cut short doesn't really last.
Have you ever has somebody ever come in and said, no, this is absolutely the style I want, and you've had to say, well, I'm not terribly sure that's going to suit you, and you know, are some people very fixed on what they want, regardless of their face shape or their lifestyle?
Yeah, yes. That goes back to perceptions. A lot of people have a belief that they suit a certain thing. That may suit their life, what they think their lifestyle is. That sounds crazy, but there's not many that. Everybody says, does it suit my face? There's not many faces. I'm looking at a lot of faces here. Your faces are all very similar. We've got noses, mouths, and eyes, and ears, foreheads, varying sizes, various widths of cheekbones. There's not that much of a variation. So this thing about face shapes that we read in the magazines, there's a whole lot of myths in magazines that you're reading and on the net, and you've been given all this information, and a lot of it isn't actually, I don't believe a lot of it's true. It's ways of selling magazines, and people have to make comments, so they invent things, and there's been some marvellous inventions. Shampooing hair. People say to me, it's bad to shampoo your hair every day. No, it's not. You feel you want to shampoo your hair, you do it every day. It might not be convenient for you, but that's a different thing altogether, to whether it's right for your scalp and for your skin and hair. So But yes, I don't dictate. We don't dictate to people. We do listen, but we do offer advice. But it's like a habit. Some people come in and say, my hair goes to this side. Well, that's the side my hair goes to. And I said, well, actually it's better that side because of the curl like there. No, my hair always naturally goes to that side. No, that's a habit. That you have a put in your hair to that side. That's not what your hair does naturally. The blueprint for our hair and hairline and hair, you can look at a baby's head, that's it. When that baby's born, that's the way her hairline is. So it's not going to change after that.
Is that again to do with the familiarity you were talking about earlier? We're so familiar with seeing our parting on one side that we can't
visualise it the other way. But that's our job. Yeah, I take that. That's our job, to try and help you visualise what would be another way. But we can only do that to you. Other people, like I said earlier, their eyes have to become accustomed to something new too. So be patient with them too. We hope by taking these steps we'll get you an easily maintained haircut, which is a home hair care. We only spend an hour or so with you. You've got to look after it all the time. We'll show you how to style your hair. We'll have education evenings if you want to come in and find out. We'll usually tell you as you're going along what brush you need, how to use it. We'll show you the back of the hair, where you should part it. Some people never see the back of the hair. They forget that bit's actually there sometimes. That's quite normal. We're in the best position to recommend products you could use for the best results. And often we'll ask clients to bring in what you've bought in the chemist or in the supermarket. You bought it on 2-to-1, you bought it because you read it somewhere or it was advertised somewhere. It's maybe not the best one for your hair. That's got to cover. We're at the sharp end, we know your hair. This is, maybe you've heard a lot about the permanent blow dry. Well, that really does not say what it says on the tin, as far as I'm concerned. It's not a permanent blow dry. That would mean neither a permanent wave is a permanent wave, which is all impermanence, because it grows out. And a permanent blow dry does not mean you never have to blow dry your hair again. Well, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? What it does do, it should be called, this is a chemical process, no matter what they claim, there are chemicals in it. Whether they're natural chemicals or not, they're still chemicals. They can work, but they only really should call it. This is a chemical process that will help you blow dry your hair more easily. That's what it should be called, but they've called it a permanent blow dry.
Not so catchy.
Not so catchy, exactly. This is a client who did have a chemical blow dry. This was her at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking at a monitor here, by the way. And this was her by 2:30 in the afternoon. And her hair is still like that.